Oh my goodness. Um, hello. Hello. Are we finally live? Gosh, we finally are. Hello everybody. Sorry, I'm a bit flustered. I my TikTok live's not working, hence why I'm so late, by the way. I've been trying to fix it. So apologies, but I seemingly can't fix it, so I currently can't go live on TikTok, which is a very big pain in the back bum, to be honest with you. I think it's an OBS problem. But nevertheless, we're here. We're still live on YouTube, so welcome along, those of you that are joining me. There's a lot to talk about today, Tottenham wise, and everything else. I'm reading up on this Alexander Isak stuff at the moment. To be honest with you, it's absolutely insane, really interesting to see sort of how the deal's going to happen, how it's going to sort of like go through and stuff as well. But yeah, welcome along to the stream. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Get involved. I do these so I can chat to people. So yeah, say hello. Don't be shy. Like I said, lots to talk about Tottenham-wise. Palhinha is doing his medical today. He's going to join on loan. Also, Mikey has joined Rangers on loan for the season, which is also another very, very interesting one. So yeah, that's definitely one to keep an eye on this season, how Mikey is sort of getting on. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Friday, by the way. Some week. I'm just glad we've got some transfer news after like finally getting this Morgan Gibbs White saga finally being over. Yeah, that's the main thing for me is that we're actually getting some deals over the line. But yeah, happy. I'm sorry, I'm just in the background trying to see if I can sort out my TikTok live stream, because it's really frustrating me that they've seemed to have revoked my access to everything. But guys, what do you make of the Palhinha stuff? Is it good deal for you, bad deal? Because I've seen the fan base is really split on it, and I don't know, how people are sort of feeling, whether they're happy, whether they're sad, or whether they think it's like a stopgap type of thing. Yeah, I saw. Sorry, we're back now. We're all good. We're just gonna leave it on YouTube for today. Very more intimate. Just the YouTube family today. We won't be greedy, but yeah. How you doing, man? Amazing on the Palhinha deal. I think it's going to be a really great deal. Personally, that's my humble opinion. That Spurs have got themselves a profile of player that we really haven't had in the squad in a little while. Possibly since Pierre-Emile Højbjerg left. That sort of bully midfielder that's just going to do the dirty work in the middle of the park. Get a striker in a good transfer window. I think, it's a weird one, because I think we still need more than just a striker, to be honest. I mean, do we still need like an attacking midfielder to be able to sort of compete next season? Lewis saying, good experienced player for the position we were desperately needing. Yeah, I think so. I agree. I think it's definitely something that we've been lacking, and I'm glad that we're getting something like that in, because I mean I feel like Thomas Frank. A lot of people have said we need like a ball playing technical midfielder, but I don't think that is what Thomas Frank thinks we need. And obviously, I'm more inclined to trust him, but that it just makes us more solid, doesn't it? Particularly like when those of you that watched the Arsenal game yesterday, and you saw us sort of like sit back in the second half and defend and sort of just be a bit more compact in trying to stop Arsenal from scoring. If you throw someone like Palhinha into the mix as well and put him in front of the defence, it makes us a lot more solid. I mean, the guy loves a slide tackle, and I think we all love watching a slide tackle. And Palhinha, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to win the ball, and he's going to break up transitions and periods of play. So I'm happy about it. In my opinion, I'm happy about it. I'm hoping that we are able to go out and do a bit more business. I said yesterday we still need a left back, and I also said that we need a striker / maybe another attacking midfielder, but I don't know who now. Is passing and control amazes me, or a centre back to back up for Mikey? Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. I think it depends on whether Vuskovic stays, whether Kota Takai is like a regular in the team, and whether any of them go out on loan. I think is the important bit here, for me anyway. But yeah. Oh goodness, excuse me. Medicals today, as far as I'm aware. I think he might be doing his medical in Germany, because obviously we're over in Asia at the moment. We've got Newcastle on Sunday, I believe. So yeah, that should be done and announced. Maybe get announced tomorrow, unless Spurs really want to push it through and give us that news today, because there's stuff that we still need to do in the market. And like I said, we've only got a couple of weeks left in the transfer window to get our deals done. But yeah, like I said, the Palhinha stuff's still good to at least get that over the line. And the thing is, the fact that it's a loan deal and it's a £21 million option to buy at the end of the season, I've seen, that to me is really good business, because we don't have to activate the option to buy if we don't want. And if we want to go back in for someone like Adam Wharton or Carlos Baliba next summer, maybe a true number 6 target for the long term, then Palhinha is a really good stopgap for us this season, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's a good deal. I'm looking forward to seeing how he operates in a Thomas Frank system. But if you guys haven't watched, by the way, I uploaded a video on João Palhinha earlier today, this morning. So go check that out. Go watch it. There's some interesting clips in there of him. There is some cool stats and information. So yeah, if you fancy it later, obviously don't leave me on the live stream. Go check that out, because it's give you a bit more insight into what João Palhinha is going to bring and sort of give to Tottenham in the next year, at the very, very least. So yeah, I mean, like I say, there's stuff to talk about. I think let's pop his name into the Twitter. I saw this stat, which I thought was amazing, by the way, which was Premier League tackles. So his last 2 seasons in the Premier League before he went to Bayern Munich last summer, 300 tackles across the 2 seasons, and that's like over 100 more than any other Premier League player, which is absolutely insane to me. And those of you that remember João Palhinha in the last season before he left for Bayern, he was being like absolutely revered as one of the best DMs, if not the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League. So if he can recapture that form, I know he sort of joined Bayern Munich, and Vincent Kompany plays a very different style of play to what maybe Palhinha's skill set gives you. So that's probably one of the reasons why he didn't play as much, but also the fact that he got a lot of injuries last season. So I'm hoping we're looking after him and he doesn't get injured, and he can be very much available for us. I think he's the type of player that we need to play against PSG in this Super Cup in like a couple of weeks, because he's got all of the attributes to help us, because realistically we're probably going to set up in a low block against PSG and try and ride it out and maybe hit him on the counter. I think Palhinha is perfect for that type of game, so it'll be interesting to see if he does get thrown straight in I would imagine he's not going to join up with Spurs for the game against Newcastle on Sunday, because then we're flying back out of Asia after that, and I think we play Bayern Munich in Munich. So that's one to keep an eye on when we do eventually announce him. What do you think of us getting Vissa after this? Richarlison is just not good enough to be a backup for Solanke. Wissa's going Newcastle. I'd like Wissa, and I did see a report again say that Thomas Frank is really keen to sign Wissa still this summer. But the issue we've got is, well, one, Brentford have told him now that apparently he's not leaving regardless this summer, which I think is going to be a very difficult thing to tell a player who desperately wants to leave and play Champions League football, and then that there's also 2 Premier League clubs that are willing to give him Champions League football. So that's very difficult. But the thing is, Brentford have got the power. They can ask him for ridiculous money. Like, literally, I think they're asking, 45 mil for him now, which it's too much. But it could still happen. You are right. I would like him. I do. The more I watch pre-season, the more I think we do really need to get rid of Richarlison. I just don't think he's got the attributes to be able to be a really effective striker under Thomas Frank. And I know that sitter he missed from a corner was coming at him really fast, but he was right on the back post. I don't know how it didn't go in. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Arsenal game yesterday, by the way. It gave me a lot more confidence going into the new season. I can't believe we're nearly there. The EFL's back, tonight? It's like Luton v Wimbledon on telly tonight or something. You've got League 1, League 2 back tomorrow, this weekend. And then next weekend is the Championship back. And then the weekend after that is when the Premier League's back. So we're finally getting there. We're finally getting back to football being back. But yeah, some good stats about Palhinha. What are people saying now? I'm a huge Palhinha fan. I think he's a much, much better player than he showed at Bayern. Frank is clearly favouring Premier League experience, 6'3", physical presence alone with a €30 million buy option. I think he's a great signing for Spurs, and I agree. Also, I don't know if any of you remember this game, but he had an absolute stormer against Arsenal a couple of years ago. Look at the passion. Look at the passion on his face there. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, so David Ornstein is saying that João Palhinha is undergoing his medical in Germany today ahead of joining Tottenham Hotspur from Bayern Munich. Deal for 30-year-old, a season-long loan, and an option to buy next summer, which is just under the €30 million mark. Tottenham's cover full wages of the Portugal. That's an interesting one, by the way. The fact that we're covering his entire wage bill. I believe he's on the best side of 200k a week at Bayern. So automatically he comes in and becomes one of our top earners, if not our top earner, depending on whether Son stays or goes. So that's an interesting change of tact from Spurs, who were trying to get the wage bill down. But yeah, it's also a lot of money to fork out as well. But yeah, another thing I really loved about this deal is that he just seems so happy and excited and keen to join Tottenham. And yeah, the same can't be said for a certain Nottingham Forest player who signed a new contract last week. But Palhinha has spoken to Thomas Frank and really, really wants to join. I think he wants to join permanently as well. So he's really keen on that. Moving back to the Premier League, the idea of playing Champions League football. And yeah, I think it's a really smart bit of business. And there's not too much commitment from Spurs initially. So, why not get that done? I don't know who the alternatives are that we would have gone for. A lot of people say Douglas Luiz. Yeah, I just think Frank's clearly favouring more of a physical presence ball winner in the middle of that park. Robbo's saying panic buying. I don't think so. I say I don't think so. To an extent, I understand where you're coming from, just because it's not necessarily a panic buy. But I do think we maybe have waited so long that other targets aren't available, or they're just a bit too expensive. Like Adam Wharton, Carlos Believer are quite expensive to buy this summer. So maybe their price goes down next year. Maybe it goes up. Who knows? But yeah, interesting to see how he gets on. I mean, this guy is quite a big Bayern account. Said in another world, both Tell and Palhinha succeed at Bayern. All the best to both of them at Tottenham. Two great guys. We have a very good relationship with Bayern Munich, it seems. You know, the Kane stuff, playing loads of friendlies against them, getting Tell, getting Palhinha. So there's a very good working relationship there. I think the fact that we actually let Bayern buy Harry Kane has opened a lot of doors for us to take some of that maybe more unwanted talents over the next sort of few years. So yeah, an interesting one for sure. But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll work out well, and I think he'll be a very useful player to have, especially across so many competitions. Robert saying, was very impressed with our performance yesterday. Love the switch in play. Yeah, so I spoke about this in my review that's on YouTube about the Arsenal game. Is that we played two very different halves against Arsenal. One of which was a bit more attacking and on the front foot. Like, I think in the first half we had more shots on target than them, we had more possession, and we were just generally a bit more dangerous. Obviously hit the post twice, scored our goal, of course. And in the second half, 1-0 up, I think Thomas Frank very much treated it like a Premier League game, in the sense that he wanted to see it out, he wanted to be compact, he wanted to be disciplined. And I saw who is it? There's an account. Is it this guy that does the threads and analysis and breakdowns and stuff? Yeah, it is. So he did a few bits on Spurs, which I'll show you now quickly while we're here and while we're live. But yeah, he essentially said Spurs are completely different under Thomas Frank compared to how they were under Ange Postecoglou. They're compact as hell in every moment. So I'm sure you guys noticed as well that Arsenal tried to play over the top of us so many times, in the first half in particular. And that was because we were forcing them to go long with how many players we committed to the press. If you see in this first screenshot here, you can see in their almost final third, you've got 6 Spurs players. And we're man marking as well, so we're leaving 3-on-3 at the back. Arsenal commit so many men forward to try and get Spurs to pull back their defenders a little bit more, which would allow them to play out from the back. So we called that bluff, and they were playing over the top of us. And we actually, I think, dealt with it quite well. And then this is the defensive shape that he's talking about, and that is probably very different to Ange Postecoglou. You can see, like, the back four isn't even in shot here. We've got the four of sort of midfield, Odegaard, Kudus, Sarr and Bentancur, with Bergvall and Richarlison almost playing next to each other in front. And you can see Arsenal camped in our half, and they're, you know, happy on the ball and stuff, but we were very compact. And I don't know if you guys agree, but did you get the feeling yesterday in the game that Arsenal were going to score? Because I didn't. It felt very much similar to the Europa League final in the sense that they didn't really feel very threatening at all, and especially when Gyökeres came on for them. But yeah, look, absolutely squeezing them. So many bodies in defence, and it's quite a pleasant change. If I have to be honest, it's quite a pleasant change, and yeah, I'm looking forward to us being much tougher to score against this season. And that's where the João Palhinha stuff comes in as well, you know? Like, that is where the Palhinha stuff comes in. He makes us harder to score against, which was our number one problem last season. So yeah, that's a positive, and like you said, Robert, I really enjoyed the switch up in performance as well. Tombstone said, would be nice to see Morgan Gibbs get some karma next season. I think Forest will struggle next season. I do. I think they'll struggle. And with the European football, so I just hope they get booted out of the Europa League and put back down into the Conference League, because they don't deserve to be in that Europa League. They haven't earned it. So yeah, fingers crossed Palace get in there. Imagine if we can do this against PSG. Much tougher test to do this against PSG. It really, really is. And I know PSG haven't had as much time to prepare and sort of get up to match fitness, because they played all the way through the Club World Cup and into the Club World Cup final. They'll still be a very, very difficult team to beat. No, we had full control of the game overall, and low block was great. Yeah, I think so. I agree with that. And yeah, like I said, add Palhinha into the mix, and it makes us even more defensively sound, which is good. So yeah, I'll move on. I want to talk about this man right here, which is Randall Kolo Muani, because reports saying, well, most of the reports last night were saying that we've reignited our interest in Randall Kolo Muani. However, Alistair Gold, obviously very reliable transfer source for Spurs, this morning has said that those reports were a little bit wider than mark. So I'm not sure whether Spurs have internally played that down. But it's definitely one to keep an eye on, because I feel like Randall Kolo Muani fits the mould of what Thomas Frank wants in a Tottenham forward. He's versatile. I actually think he started really well on his loan at Juventus last season, and he fizzled out a little bit, as did Juve, I believe. But I do think that this would be a good signing. However, some of the reports I'm saying are suggesting that apparently PSG want like 60 million euros for him. So the sources that were reporting that were interested were reliable, by the way. Time Sport here. Where else? I mean, Transfer Market have him at 30 million euros, which would be a much, much better price for him, in my opinion. But yeah, this is some interesting stats here. Yeah, so these are his stats at Juventus in the second half of last season compared to other Serie A forwards. And you can see, like, the further out those stats are, the better. And the important ones, the goals, the shots on target percentage, really, really high, heading towards that 100%. So that's really impressive. And this is what I mean. I feel like he would be a smart buy for Spurs. Like I said, that Spanish guy. Although he was reporting on the Rodrigo stuff, and I really just don't believe that, to be honest with you. I really, really don't believe that. So we'll see. We'll see. It's one to keep an eye on. But like I said, PSG value Kolo Muani at 60 million euros, which has been deemed excessive by Juventus. So yeah, I think he's keen to return to Juventus is the other thing. And I don't think that Juventus can pay that sort of fee for Kolo Muani, 60 million euros. I don't think he'll go for anywhere near that much. I think if you can get him for like maximum price, 40 million, that's a deal I would definitely ramp up on. But yeah, I don't know. Talks underway with PSG. I don't know if that's premature or wider than mark as well. Like I said, this is a guy that was reporting on the Rodrigo to Spurs link, so I'm not entirely sure on that, but it is one to keep an eye on. I still think we need a new attacker, a striker / even a potential like forward line attacking midfielder, because we don't know if Maddison's going to be able to stay fit. Obviously Kulusevski's not fit at the moment. Bergvall, I think, did an okay job in the number 10 the other day against Arsenal, but he's obviously still very raw, still only 18 years old, still has a lot of stuff to work on in his game. So that's why the Morgan Gibbs White stuff was so disappointing, is just because I feel like he would have been the perfect fit for multiple different positions in the midfield. But yeah, like I said, Kolo Muani is one to keep an eye on. See what if anything comes back up on the Vissa stuff. And then the other thing, we will get some clarity on Heung-min Son's future. That I think we will know after the Newcastle game on Sunday. Obviously, Spurs play Newcastle in Seoul in South Korea, Heung-min Son's home country, and I think it's like almost guaranteed that he has to play the majority of the game for that one. So when you see Son's name on the starting team sheet on the weekend, don't be surprised about that. But yeah, I think if he decides to go to LAFC, which I think is the option for him this summer, I am so hoping that we go out and buy a marquee signing to replace it. Like, could you imagine if we went out and got a Rodrigo or a Rafael Leao or someone like that to play on the left wing to replace him? Oh, it would just be amazing. And I know you guys are like me and you're probably not holding out too much hope for that. But it's an interesting one to keep an eye on for sure, because with the Palhinha deal being on loan, and we've heard talks all summer of this investment and this financial boost that we've had, but we've not really spent any of it. So we know that the money is there. We know we were willing to pay £60 million for Morgan Gibbs White. So where's that money going to be reinvested in? Hopefully an attacker and a left back as well. Left or right back, I just feel like we need a new fullback. I would like to see us go for someone like Anthony Robinson from Fulham. I would have gone for Kirkes before he joined Liverpool. Interesting shout there, Robbo, saying Watkins. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really rated Ollie Watkins that highly. I don't think he'll leave Villa now because, well, he might go Newcastle because Newcastle, like, I feel so bad for him. Just because it looks like Sesko is going to go Man United. And then this literally broke as I was about to go live. Liverpool presented an opening bid of 120 mil for Isak to Newcastle, which was rejected. I don't know how they can reject that. And maybe it's because they want to line up a replacement first. But that sort of money for your striker who's trying to force a move away, I feel like you just have to accept that. You have to cash in and reinvest in the squad. But Liverpool get hold of Isak. It's over, man. The season's over before it's even begun. I'm recording my Premier League predictions video very, very soon. And I give you a spoiler, Liverpool are going to be top. But yeah, mental money being put on the table from Liverpool there. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. We're talking about Tottenham. So we'll carry on talking about Tottenham. I want to chat very quickly about the Mikey Moore deal. I think it's a very good move for him. 17-year-old kid. Russell Martin, who was manager of Southampton last season, is the manager now at Rangers. They'll obviously be competing for the Scottish title. I believe Rangers are potentially in the Champions League next season as well. So it seems like I may be a Rangers fan next season for the SPL at the very least. And I'm hoping that he has a very prolific and successful loan spell at Rangers. We know that he is sort of got to be guaranteed some amount of minutes across his loan spell because there was a lot of interest in Mikey Moore over the summer. Championship clubs, we know Borussia Dortmund wanted him, and he settled on Rangers. And I think it'll be a really good move. I do. I'm just hoping. Amad Diallo went on loan to Rangers, I think, a few seasons ago, and he didn't really get used. So I'm hoping that that's not the case for Mikey Moore, and he's a starter for them, because the reason he's going on loan and the reason Spurs have reluctantly let him leave on loan is because he wants first team minutes, and then he wants to come back next season and compete for a first team spot and a spot in the starting 11, which will hopefully be under Thomas Frank. So yeah, I really, really like the move for him. Good level of playing for him as well, and I think he will be a resounding success, and he's going to lead Rangers to the title in the Scottish Premier League. Why not? Doomsday said Spurs would be lucky to even get a draw against that Liverpool team. Yeah, I don't know. The games against Liverpool that we play are always crazy. I think the better option for Son replacement is Ilman and Dye. Yeah, he's a really, really good player, Chris. And I would not be mad at all if we signed him. I think he's excellent. I've seen a lot of people suggest Ademola Lookman as well, who I think would potentially be a good sign-in. So I hope that we're going to... I hope we're going to make a marquee signing. If we go for someone that's a little bit less of a big name, but someone of a talent level such as Ndai or Lookman or someone of that calibre, I think I would be happy with that as well. I don't know what others are making of that, but it should be an interesting one. I don't think the club can let Son leave and not bring another attacker in. And I think everything Thomas Frank has been saying is leading up to him appointing Romero as the new captain. Son didn't even want to put the armband on yesterday when we beat Arsenal, and we obviously had a trophy presentation and stuff. And Romero forced the armband on him. So I think that probably tells you where his head is at the moment in terms of that deal. So I think we'll get a lot more clarity on it after this game against Newcastle at the weekend. But yeah, that's sort of the transfer news for Spurs at the moment. We know Palhinha is going to sign, and we're going to get an announcement on him hopefully very soon. Kolo Muani, we thought we were interested in him again after missing out in January, but Alistair Gold's kind of rubbished those reports a little bit for now. Mikey Moore has joined Rangers on loan and is going to be hopefully very good for them, and he's going to score lots of goals, and he's going to come back a lot better player, which would be beneficial for Spurs, obviously, and Rangers in the short term. And yeah, keep an eye on the Son stuff. I think it was a very good win against Arsenal. I'm feeling a lot more encouraged about Spurs under Thomas Frank. So far, after those Reading, Wickham and Luton games, I was a little bit like, oh, but the Arsenal games made me feel a bit more assured. But we've got, a week and a half to a Super Cup? Bloody hell. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, I am going to leave a live stream there today, guys, just because I've got work in a little bit. I haven't had any lunch or anything yet, so I'm going to go and make myself some lunch and chill out a little bit before I start. And I'm going to try and fix a TikTok problem as well. I don't know why I can't live stream on TikTok at the moment, but I need to look into that. But thank you so much for coming along and chatting with me, guys. I appreciate it. Doomslayer Ra, Robbo, Chris, welcomed in, and thank you for chatting with me. If you guys have enjoyed the live stream, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 5k by the end of the 2025-26 season. I would love to get there. But yeah, we're getting ever closer to... Are you going to put the stats on the board? What do you mean? But yeah, we're getting ever closer to the new Premier League season, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how we get on, and that Super Cup is getting very, very close. So yeah, you guys go enjoy your weekend. I will catch you guys soon, and